What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Now today I have a full review on the Nike Phantom GX2, and I've been wearing this boot for the past few weeks, and it's just a very comfortable, very unique boot in the market in my opinion. Now today I'm just going to do my best to talk about my experience wearing this boot and give you guys information about the upper, the fit, the feel, the sole plate. I'll do my best to share my opinions on the boot. Now we'll start with the upper, and the upper itself is a grip knit upper. It is a one-piece upper, which means that there aren't any layers. I think in the previous model we had like a grip knit, then like a flat knit base, and so I had like multiple layers to it. This time around it's just one single piece, and so it is a bit on the thinner side. And because it is on the thinner side, I just feel like it's a little bit softer from right out of the box, and obviously as you wear them they do get even softer. But yeah, it's very soft, very pliable, very sock-like on foot. And like I said, it is on the thinner side. There isn't really much padding to it, and so it does, you do feel really connected to the ball, I would say. And the grip knit used here is the same as the first generation Phantom GX, not the Phantom Luna. And so it's very grippy on the ball. It's very consistent all throughout. So wherever you touch the ball, you will find like grip in this white area of the boot. So you'll hear on the when you're dribbling on the outside, when you're dribbling on the inside, when you're striking the ball, like you feel grip almost all the time. Now I really like that sensation because it gives you like a placebo effect that you could kind of control and manipulate the ball however you want. I feel like it's not overly sticky. Like I don't really find myself tripping over the ball, but maybe that's just because I'm used to how the grip knit feels. I could potentially see people trying this for the first time and maybe like tripping over the ball just because they're dragging it maybe a little. Um, that could happen. But I feel like once you do have them on feet, you are using them, you'll get used to that, sensation of grip. And like I said, it's not like a crazy amount of grip. I feel like it's a good amount. It's very well balanced in my opinion. Now we do get these ridges here that come from the Luna, and these ridges just I feel like add a little bit more texture, and I feel like it maybe it just adds a little bit more grip. That could just be me, overthinking things, but I really like this texture that they provided just because me myself when I strike the ball very hard, I kind of feel those ridges here just a little bit, and maybe when you're curling the ball, it just provides, it makes it easier to spin the ball because of the texture. But that could just be me again, or that could just be the grip itself just being sticky and providing spin. But regardless, I do notice more spin on the ball when trying to curl it. Obviously, it's not going to make your shot any better. It's not going to make it easy to curl the ball, but it does make it easy to provide spin. Alright, so now moving on to the heel. The heel here is very comfortable. I had no issues with it whatsoever. There is a good amount of padding here. It's kind of difficult to tell just because it is like a black liner, but it's very, very padded. It has a nice synthetic suede liner and it's just very comfortable. No complaints whatsoever. You guys can see here there isn't really any like hard spots. The heel counter kind of only comes up to here, and then there's like an open space here. So even though it's not a full like internal heel counter, there's still a good amount of stability on the side of the heel, and just still makes it really comfortable. In terms of sizing, I wore these in a size 9 US, and they fit perfectly. So if you guys want to get these, I would recommend going true to size. In terms of the fit, this is where we see like the biggest change coming from the previous model. This time around, they just added a little bit more volume all throughout. And so for me, it's just a bit more comfortable just because since I do have a bit of a wider foot, it just isn't as like snug. With the Phantom GX, I was still able to fit in it and it was like kind of snug, but the upper did stretch a little, and so I was able to wear them with no issues. And this time around, they just added more volume to it, so it's just better for those who have a bit of a wider foot like myself. I feel like the toe box overall is still a little bit narrow, but because they added just a little bit more volume to it, it's just a little bit more comfortable. You could just wiggle your toes a bit more, and like I said, it's just more comfortable. So the fit for me is, great. I feel like if you guys like the fit of the Phantom GX and you like that snug fit, you're not gonna really get it here with the Phantom GX unless you do have a bit of a wider foot, obviously, because it's gonna take up more space in the boot. But I feel like it still provides a good fit. Obviously, when you tie your laces tight, the upper comes close to your foot. There's a little bit more space in there, but for me, that's fine just because, like I said, I do have a wider foot. Now, in terms of performance, I found that these perform pretty well. This time around, the grip knit upper doesn't really have that stretch that the GX1 had. I feel like it's a little bit like less stretchy, and that kind of just helps it with the stability. Just because when you're cutting, the upper won't really stretch, even though it is like a knitted upper. It's still nice and stable. I didn't really find a crazy movement whatsoever. Maybe just a little bit of rollover, but very minimal. Just because there is a bit more volume to it and a little bit more space. There is a little bit of movement, but it's nothing crazy. Like I said, it still performs pretty well. And when you tie your laces very tightly, that kind of minimizes that. So we'll move on to the sole plate, and here I do have the AG sole plate, which is very similar to the sole plate on the GX1, which I prefer. I didn't get the FG just because I don't really like the Cyclone 360 sole plate. I really just prefer this one just because it's a little bit more flexible and more natural underfoot. And since I do mainly play on AG, I found that the Cyclone 360 is a little bit too aggressive. And yeah, I can wear it on my AG pitch just because it is like a newer pitch and it's kind of deep. But honestly, I just prefer the sole plate from the Phantom GX1 just because, like I said, it's just, I don't know, just I prefer more flexible sole plate. And here the stud pattern is all conical, which is perfect for AG because obviously this is a AG specific sole plate. So I had no issues with these. Performs pretty well. You get a good amount of movement, and you can actually use this on FG if you guys want. They're pretty durable. They're a good length for FG in my opinion. Overall, the Nike Phantom GX2 is a very solid boot. I really like it. It's very comfortable. Nothing really bothered me. I didn't really find any issues with it. In terms of performance, it performed well. But like the main difference coming from the GX1 is just like the change in the shape a little. just adding a little bit more volume to it. And for me, it just makes it a little bit more comfortable. I feel like people may not really like that change. I feel like some people will like the snug fit that the GX1 did provide. I just feel like more people are able to fit in this boot a little bit more comfortable. So that's it for today's review. If I did miss anything or if you guys have any questions, be sure to leave them in the comments. I'll do my best to answer them. If you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to leave a like, make sure to subscribe. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.